Jumping right back into it, pick 16. The Detroit Lions on the board. The news officially broke today. Calvin Johnson walking away from the game. Sad to see Megatron leave. Thanksgiving surely will not be the same without him. And I think that the Lions are in a position where they're going to have to try to replace Calvin. Now, let's be clear. You're not replacing Calvin Johnson that easily. Not in this draft, and you certainly wouldn't be able to do it at pick 16. However, Laquan Treadwell is the best receiver in this class, and he's got a really big body, and he's not Calvin Johnson. However, I think that big type receiver is something that Matt Stafford is very used to, and I think that he can get the best out of Treadwell, and it works as the opposite to Golden Tate, who'll be on the other side. I just don't think that the Lions can really pass on the best receiver in the class when they're losing Calvin Johnson. In free agency, there's just a lot of people say that in this draft class you don't have a lot of depth at running back and you don't have a lot of big time wide receivers. But when you look at it, free agency, you can get plenty of running backs. You can't really get wide receiver ones. And I think Laquan Treadwell can be a wide receiver one. Again, not Calvin Johnson, but steps in right away. And he's going to be playing with a really good quarterback in Matt Stafford. So I like the move for both sides. Now, pick 17 is going to be a controversial one. I think a pair of Ole Miss guys go back to back, though. I got Robert Kimdichie going 17. A lot of people see him falling out around 1. I think that there's going to be a team who likes the talent too much, and I think it's going to be a team that needs to fill a need. And Robert Kimdichie comes in and fills 2 big needs for the Atlanta Falcons right away. Last season, they gave up the most rushing touchdowns in the league, tied with the 49ers, and they sacked the quarterback the fewest times. Or you bring a guy like Robert Kimdichie in who can plug the middle with just a massive size, and then he can get to the quarterback with that athleticism from the D tackle position. He's so good when he's trying, and I hate to say it like that, but you saw what he did against Alabama. There was a reason why he was the number 1 recruit coming out of high school. The talent is there. I know the off-field concerns are large, and I understand that. But I think that if you're the Atlanta Falcons, have faith in yourselves that you can take a guy and get his head straight. You have to try to have faith. Now, again, this is not a pick I'm guaranteeing because I think that it's really possible Kimdichie falls out of the first round. People are just going to be scared. I mean, we saw Gregory fall out of the first round. I mean, we saw La'el Collins not even get drafted because of the just the controversy that happened to him right before the draft, and he ended up not even being guilty on any account. So, he can easily fall. There's no doubt about it. But to me, the Falcons have such a need, and they can get a guy who can fill both of them and start and make such an impact immediately that the risk might be worth the reward for the Falcons. And I got Robert Kimdichie going 17. That's going to be one I expect the comments to be all over. Pick 18, the Indianapolis Andrew Lucks. I mean Colts. I guess that's not even relevant considering Luck didn't play and they still went 500. And when he was playing, they were pretty bad, huh? But listen, the Colts have to protect him. They just have to. And I know that they need help on defense, but it's similar to the Titans. I mean, you just protecting Andrew Luck has to be priority number 1, and they just haven't done it. And he still put up big numbers. I think they go Cody Whiteheart here. Now, a lot of people would probably be expecting Conklin, but I think Whiteheart is the perfect selection. And just the Colts need help throughout the offensive line, and the Colts offensive line constantly goes through injuries, and they have to make replacements. Well, Whiteheart played left tackle in college, projects best as a guard, and can play center. Literally can play every position. That's very rare to find. That versatility is just what the Colts need, and he can actually be productive at all 3 positions. So they'll probably start him at guard. If they end up being able to get a guard later on, then they maybe move him to center. And if they get injuries, then maybe they'll kick him out to tackle. Now, that's obviously not ideal, but he's capable of doing it, and that's exactly what they need in Indianapolis. I think Cody Whiteheart makes a world of sense for them at pick 18. Now, pick 19, Rex and Rob. They're going to be able to have some fun with this guy, I think. Kevin Dodd. You look at the way that this guy's numbers went up from one year to the next. I mean, doesn't have all this experience, but the potential of this kid. I mean, I really do believe that if he has an insane pro day, you could see Kevin Dodd going top 10. I mean that he has crazy, crazy good potential. His stat last season, he had 46 QB pressures. The season before that, he had 3. Wow. I mean, you just see what he did. He ended the season on I think it was 5 consecutive game sack streak, and against Alabama, 5 tackles for loss and 3 sacks. Kevin Dodd is a really promising prospect, and if the Ryan brothers get their hands on him, he could be the perfect replacement for Mario Williams. The perfect replacement. Pick 20, the other New York team, the Jets, who really tough for them for them to miss the playoffs. I could only imagine how hard that was for a Jets fan to just be so close and watch Rex Ryan's team, realistically be the ones that keep you out. But when you think about it, they have a lot of pieces. One of the best receiving duos, if not the best receiving duo. The concern, though, is Ryan Fitzpatrick and Chris Ivory need to be re-signed. They could use an offensive line piece. Defense is pretty stout, pretty solid defensive, but Muhammad Wilkerson, what happens there? And they just cut Cromartie. So there's some needs, but I think that the Jets have the luxury to make this pick, and I think they go Jalen Smith. He's a guaranteed top 5 pick if he's healthy. He actually would be probably the only guy who could be in contention to go number 1 overall at the Titans. He was that good. He's that impressive. But unfortunately, that injury in the last game of the season against Ohio State, he might not play a single game in the 2016 NFL regular season, and that's why you're seeing him fall. If Jalen Smith falls out of the top, out of the first round, I think it's a mistake, but it wouldn't shock me. I understand why. But I think that the Jets have the defense where they can take a risk like that. And when they get Smith back, whether it be the middle of 2016 or just the 2017 season, they're getting such a talented player. And as long as he stays healthy, that pick will without a doubt pay off, because they can address running back in free agency, whether they bring back Ivory or they go and maybe get a guy like C.J. Anderson or maybe a guy like Alfred Morris. There are options for them, and they're likely to be signing back Ryan Fitzpatrick. Although, I will say this, keep this in mind. Fitzpatrick and the Jets right now seem to be not on good terms in regards to what Fitzpatrick wants and what the Jets want to give him. For that reason, Paxton Lynch is possible here. Paxton Lynch is a real possibility for the New York Jets. Now, I think that they should be bringing back Fitzpatrick just because he was their guy last year. You don't have to worry about relearning the system. And also, there's no quarterback competition, right? It's Fitzpatrick no matter what. We don't got to worry about seeing Geno Smith again. You're bringing a rookie, and if he's struggling, you might have to start Geno Smith. Jets fans will lose their mind. They will lose their mind. And for that reason, I expect Fitzpatrick back. But Paxton Lynch is a legitimate possibility at pick 20 for the New York Jets. Comment down below. What do you think? What do you think on that Paxton Lynch situation? Do you think that maybe he'd be a good selection for the Jets? Leave all your comments on what you think about picks 16 through 20. Check out the entire mock draft on my blog. Link will be in the description. Coming right back. Going to do 21 to pick 26. So coming right back with that.